Perfect security makes escape impossible. Walls surrounded by electrified wires, cameras watching every step, control towers watching every move from the top, guards on guard and soldiers patrolling non-stop. Escape from here? Madness. But some have turned madness into an art. So what would you do? Force the gates, dig underground, or soar into the sky? Here are the most striking escape stories that are etched in history with their unbelievable plans, breathtaking courage and intelligence. And that make you think, how is this possible? Are you ready? Yoga unnecessary? Think again. A man in South Korea was going to show the world whether he was a criminal or an escape master. Choi Gap-Bok is a master who practiced yoga for 23 years and was also a convicted thief. But he had no intention of staying in prison. His plan was simple but ingenious. He told the guards he had a skin condition and asked for an ointment. At night, lubricating his body with this cream, he slithered like an octopus out of his food slot, which was only 15 centimeters high and 43 centimeters wide. And he made this incredible escape in just 34 seconds. But his freedom was short-lived. Authorities tracked him down and caught him just a week later on the roof of an apartment building. This time they put him in a much smaller cell to make sure he couldn't escape. Yoga got him out of jail, but not enough to set him free forever. When 3 young Americans left their ordinary lives behind and set sail for the west coast of Mexico in search of some excitement, they had no idea what was in store for them. They wanted adventure. They would find more. By the time they reached the coast of Mexico, their boat was falling apart. They didn't have a dime in their pockets to repair it. That's when 2 men they met at the marina made them the perfect offer. Would you like to go to America? The only problem was that the men needed a crew. The young men accepted the offer. But when they set sail, the truth came out. There was a ton of weed on board. The men told the young men that they would pay them handsomely to deliver this cargo to America. Money and adventure. It was an offer that could not be refused. But things did not go as planned. At midnight, there was an unexpected accident and the boat began to sink. A ton of drugs washed ashore with the waves. There was no escape. Before they knew it, they found themselves in one of Mexico's terrible prisons. But this was not the end. With a knife and a rock, they started digging under the bed. Day after day, night after night, they deepened their tunnels. Everything was going according to plan until they made a mistake, a blow, and suddenly the hole was filled with dirt and urine. They had accidentally burst a sewer pipe. Now they had only one choice: dive into this cesspool and fix the pipe. But no one wanted to do that. They found a man who was addicted to heroin. They said, "If you fix the pipe, we'll kidnap you too." The man thought and agreed. He dived into the dark, suffocating, and unbearable pit. Eventually, the pipe was fixed, the dirt emptied, and the digging continued. Finally, bingo, they got their freedom. Alfred George Hines is a famous jewel thief in the 20th century. Using his skills in prison, Alfred memorizes the shape of the key to the door and escapes by creating an imitation. 8 months later, he is caught. Of course, no more keys are shown to him, but he has another devious plan. During his trial, he asked permission to go to the restroom. This is part of the plan, because in prison, he managed to make a copy of the handcuff lock. He gets out of handcuffs. On top of that, he locks the 2 guards accompanying him in the toilet and disappears. 5 hours later, he is caught again at London Airport. This time, he's put in a maximum security prison. But Alfred is not deterred. This time, he uses the air vents to disappear for good. The crisis of the 1929 World Economic Depression had a strong impact in the United States. People blamed the banks for the depression. Our criminal John Dillinger was declared a hero by the public with his 24 bank robberies. Caught in his last robbery, Dillinger is put in a prison where escape is thought to be impossible and where the most dangerous criminals are housed. While in prison, he carves a potato into the shape of a gun and paints it black with shoe polish. He threatens the guards with the potato gun and escapes in the prison warden's car. 3 days after his escape, he robs a bank. A week later, he robs another bank. Finally, Dillinger is killed by special agents outside a movie theater. His name was Robin Hood in Greece. Vasilis Paleokostas was famous for distributing the money he stole to poor families. Sometime after his arrest, he escaped in a helicopter rented by his brother, who landed in the courtyard of the prison. Now you will say, Where were the guards? Here's the interesting part. The guards thought the helicopter belonged to the inspectors who had come for an inspection. Vasilis was caught a while after he escaped, but the Greek guards don't wise up. Once again, the helicopter arrives and takes Vasilis away. Known as one of France's most notorious criminals, Pascal Payet has made history with his unique escapes. First, he flew to freedom in a helicopter that flew to his prison yard. 2 years later, he used the same method to rescue a fellow inmate, this time playing the hero. The authorities caught him and sentenced him to 30 years in prison, but that wasn't enough to stop Payet. An unorthodox prisoner, Payet again set his sights on the sky. Again, his men arrived in a helicopter and kidnapped him for the third time. 3 times in prison, 3 times on the run. A true but hard-to-believe story. In a high-security Western prison surrounded by 12-meter walls, Nuno Pontes focused every day for 3 years on unlocking the prison's secrets. He created a detailed map of the prison in his mind and discovered the existence of a secret door leading underground to the supply depot. He realized that the key was hanging on the belt of a guard patrolling the yard. Nuno devised an ingenious plan. While the guard was walking around the garden, 2 of his friends started arguing with him. During the commotion, Nuno skillfully pressed a piece of styrofoam cup in his hand on the key to make its shape. He had a fellow inmate working in the workshop make the key. Every day, he sent 2 men underground to dig tunnels. One afternoon, 6 prisoners managed to crawl through the tunnel to the supply depot. Wearing the hard hats they found in the warehouse, they walked away from the prison disguised as workers.